Alright, you guys asked for it, so today I'm making concept art for a playable MK1 Sonya, so let's go. Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Y'all really wanted Sonya for whatever reason. This is easily my most requested character that I've had to ask for a redesign for. I delayed it a little bit just because, as I've said before, I'm not the biggest Special Forces fan, but I will admit Sonya does have some pretty cool character designs in the past and some so-so ones. But people are really not a fan of only having Sonya as a cameo for Mortal Kombat 1. So I went ahead today and did an actual redesign of Sonya. And I'm doing it with the mindset to fit her in as much as possible with the rest of the MK1 roster and the look and feel of that roster, which is for the most part a younger version of most of the characters, since this is a new era after all. And as this character was originally requested to me, it had the idea of Sonya as almost like an internal affairs agent in between Earthrealm and Outworld itself. So almost like the Special Forces working secretly with Liu Kang to keep an eye on what's going on between the realms themselves, which is a rather interesting idea and adds some depth to the Special Forces other than them just being like an American military that's just looking up stuff for Outworld and also whatever the Special Forces were before. Like, I don't know. I'm so sick of the Special Forces and MK games, but that's a conversation for another day. While on the topic of Sonya, I will openly express that my actual inspiration and thought process for this design was a little bit of her MK3 look. Also, I used a bit of Jessica McNamee and Ronda Rousey as a reference. Being totally honest, at this point when I think of Sonya, I actually think of Ronda Rousey. That voice is completely tied to Sonya, and I don't think she did as bad as people give it credit for, especially considering Ronda Rousey wasn't even a voice actress. I mean, it could have been worse.
That blade's enchanted.
But I'm not even going to start going on a voice acting a Ronda Rousey rant right now. I'm just going to get right into the design. So here we go.
And Randy Orton making a play with another vicious RKO. RKO City tonight for Orton.
Okay, so in the beginning, I just blocked out a really simple sort of pose for Sonya. Just needed a pose for like a strong female in the outset. I also wanted Sonya to be somewhat muscular, considering she's like an army or military woman. At least slightly more muscular than my average character redesign, for my females at least. So initially, like I said, I used Ronda Rousey as an actual like basis for the character. I saw an image of Ronda Rousey with like the side of her hair braided and then the rest of her hair sort of out and thought it would look cool on Sonya. Eventually I negated that because I also really like the idea of Sonya with the headband on, either that or a hat. Didn't roll with the hat and instead just went ahead and did the headband look. Like I said, that UMK3 Sonya design might be one of my favorites, that and her Mortal Kombat 4 one. And since Mortal Kombat no longer does hypersexualized character models, her MK9 look is just out of the question entirely. But after that, I thought of giving her like an army jacket. I don't know why I wanted to so badly. Like I said, I still wanted to read Sonya a lot like a lot of the MK1 designs at this point. They look different from what you're accustomed to seeing the characters look like, but they still read as that character. Raiden and Shao Kahn were two characters that immediately came to mind. I guess you could use Scorpion and Sub-Zero too, because they don't look like ninjas anymore. So like I said, I knew I was going to give her almost like a military or camo look for her jacket. Then it was adding the accessories and whatnot to her tights. I didn't want to give her pants because I feel like I keep using drawing pants as a crutch to not really do anatomy. So I gave her tights this time around. And I do believe there's quite a few MK designs for Sonya where she's had on tights instead of just regular pants. Matter of fact, the majority of them, now that I say that out loud. So I gave those to her. Once again, it wouldn't be a design of mine without some asymmetry, so I just randomly put like a bandana or a wrap around one of her calves, like right over top of the boot. I don't know what is it about my brain that I just need something to look a little different on one side of the character. One of these times I'm going to draw my character without it and see what that looks like, or whether that resonates better than me having to have something different on one side of the character or not. But anyways, going on from there, the actual design was pretty simple in terms of actually doing the line art. It's Sonya, so as long as she looks military-esque, it's not going to be too crazy. It'll be pretty difficult to really screw her up, to be quite honest. But the coloring phase is where that can happen in spades. So Also, right now, I wanted to take the time out to let you guys know, if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel already, to go ahead and do so. It'll help me out a lot. I also have webcomics and artwork on my website, www.shadassassins.com. If you wanted to go ahead and support me over there, I'd greatly appreciate it. Now back to the video. I went back and forth for a while as to whether or not I was going to go with a green look for Sonya or whether I was going to actually change her to blue. The only reason why I did settle on green was, as I said before, I still wanted it to look like Sonya. I wanted pieces of her to still look traditional in a sense. I felt like blue would have been a drastic change, even though like blue's my favorite color. I really wanted to roll with that one going forward, especially adding the camo and whatnot to it. It settled in my mind better after I did that and started shading it. Between that and then making sort of the MK3 like pants, it was on from there. Like I pretty much felt like I had the feel of whatever this new Sonya was supposed to be. So with shading Sonya, because of the way she's posed to in this particular picture, it was, once again, I'm lucking out. I'm not having to, just the way that I draw a lot of these concept art sort of designs, I don't have to question too much of the shading for this. With Sonya, it was extremely easy because most of her shading was either from the right side or sort of underneath the character. I had to do a massive amount of cleanup though. I don't know what was going on with Clip Studio to where I had like open lines for some reason. But after finishing that up and getting sort of the shadows and the layers cleaned up, I went ahead and started doing the highlights, and specifically on the highlights and the specs, and I felt like I had a completed character. So in the end, this is what I got, and we have a brand new Mortal Kombat 1 Sonya that, while updated, doesn't look like a completely drastic look from, say, I'd say 3 through Deadly Alliance. This design definitely reads a younger Sonya, honestly more of a younger Sonya than the one that was used in MK11. But I would love to get your guys' feedback as to what you think about this design, whether or not you like it or don't like it, or think this would actually suit an MK1 Sonya, especially in comparison to the cameo we got, which is a throwback to 1992 essentially, by design of course. But the feedback would be greatly appreciated, and you all have a good one, and I'm out.